Hello, this is Coach K, and welcome all students. This is a fourth grade class, and we are going to be starting a new unit for the next 3 weeks, and it's dealing with our flexibility. And so you were all given a packet when you came in here this afternoon. And I'm going to ask for volunteers to read the importance of flexibility, and then we're going to get into a unit that involves flexibility called yoga. And I'm going to have each of you take a look at the unit syllabus, and we're going to collectively read through that so that we know what our expectations are going to be for the next 3 weeks as we go through some of the ways that yoga can improve our flexibility and can improve our balance. So as we're starting off here, we are going to first do our regular exercises, and we are then going to go out and do the pacer run. And that's going to take about 15 minutes, and then we will transition into the unit for learning about flexibility and the yoga, the unit of yoga. So let's start off, and thanks for doing a great run out there, folks. You did a great pacer run, and so now we're going to start in with the unit on flexibility and yoga. So Pete, would you mind reading to us, I see you raised your hand, reading to us on the area of what is flexibility and why is it important? Activities that benefit flexibility exercises. These are activities that lengthen and stretch muscles and can help prevent injuries such as back pain and balance problems. A well-stretched muscle more easily achieves its full range of motion, such as being able to reach, bend, stoop doing daily tasks. Stretching can also be a great way to get you moving in the morning or a great way to relax at the end of the day. Activities such as yoga combine stretching and relaxation and also improve balance, which is a wonderful combination. Thank you, Pete, for going through that, and it shows us the importance of keeping our body flexible so that we can move. And you'll find out as you age later in life, muscles tend to get a little bit, you have more aches and pains, and you become less flexible. That's why it's important to help make this a lifelong type of a exercise and a performance of yoga for the long haul. And this is what we hope to do. We hope to teach you these types of yoga practices so that you can carry these on well into old age, because it is an individual activity. You can do it in groups, but you can also do yoga on your own, which is really quite nice. So I'm going to ask Sally to go through and discuss out of the yoga unit syllabus. She is going to give an idea of what the class description is. Sally, go ahead. In this class, we will learn the skills of various different yoga techniques. Through this class, we will learn breathing techniques, basic to intermediate yoga, different equipment that can be used, as well as how to create a sequence. By the end of this class, students will be able to perform their own yoga sequences so that they can continue incorporating yoga into their daily life. Well, thank you for reading that. Yes, so yoga is a process that we're learning, and it's a small step-by-step process. And after this week, we will be going into simple breathing exercises that show us how we breathe during yoga, because it's very important. Just as when we run, we breathe, and in our yoga exercises and practices, we have to have a way of breathing too. So we'll be getting into that next week. But if John, if you wouldn't mind talking to us about the yoga attire that we have for our class here, please. To participate safely and effectively in this class, students need to have proper clothing for physical activity. Shirts and any other clothing should have appropriate language. Short-sleeve shirts should be worn indoors. Shorts should follow school dress code, at least to the top of the knees. Jewelry and metal items should be removed before class and stored in a locked location. Hair should be tied back loosely, and clothing should be school appropriate. That means no stomachs are showing and no low-cut shirts or tank tops. Thank you, John. So we know the type of apparel that we've got to do. It's a little bit different, that we are going to be taking our shoes off during yoga, and we will not be having any type of tight jeans, because we're doing a lot of stretching and movement during our yoga class here. So Jennifer, could you go over the class guidelines and the yoga equipment that we've got, please, Jennifer? Class time guidelines. Students are expected to be in position for roll before the tardy bell rings. The locker rooms will remain locked during class. Bathroom needs should be attended to prior to class. For the yoga equipment, the equipment that we will be using is property of the school. We will ask all students to please treat it with respect. Mats will be used during class and are to be returned to equipment room in the proper number slot. Other equipment will be issued on a day-specific basis and returned on the equipment room in proper slots. Yes, so when we perform the yoga, we do have certain pieces of equipment, and that we'll be going through that. I've got a mat right here in front of me. We will also have a small pillow, and there'll be, not for today, but there'll be, because we're going through the syllabus and what we're going to be doing, but we will be then going into the use of music and that to help us as we go through our different stretches and our practice for that. All right, and Juan, if you would go through the daily points and the grading system that we have, please, from the syllabus. In class, you can earn a maximum of 10 points per day. Points will be deducted for tardiness, unacceptable dress, and participation. During the quarter, you'll be able to earn a maximum of 420 points. This will be divided among daily points, quizzes, and a journal. So the grading scale is 420 points through 390 is an A. An A minus is 389 through 359. A B plus is 358 through 328. A B is 327 through 297. A B minus is 296 through 266. A C plus is 265 through 235. A C is 234 through 204. A C minus is 203 through 173. A D plus is 172 to 142. A D is 141 through 111, and failing is less than 110 points. Well, thank you for reading that part of the syllabus. Yes. So grades are dependent on you being here on time, that you are participating, and that you're in proper attire, as we went through earlier. So we will make sure that everyone gets a good grade in here if you are present, and that you are participating, and that you're in proper attire. So Isaiah, would you please go through the attendance and tardy policy, please? Regular class attendance is imperative to reach a desired level of physical activity and fitness. Also, participation is important to class activities. To earn full credit, a student is expected to attend and participate in all the class sessions. Any days missed must be made up through after-school activities or other previously approved by Coach K activities to receive credit. Students must bring a note to validate the appointment or reason for not attending class for the day. If there is an excused absence due to a school-related activity, band, sports, a field trip, the student will be excused for the day. In order for it to be an excused absence, the instructor must be notified prior to activity. Emergencies are considered excused. Each student will be expected to suit up in an appropriate uniform every class period. Students who do not suit up will be asked to sit out of class activity, earning no points for that day. The non-suited students will be required to stay with the class during the entire period. For tardiness, students not suited up in an appropriate attire and ready for activity when class starts are considered tardy. So bottom line, students, is that we need to be present and think positive and stay positive during our sessions here for the yoga classes, just like we are in any other class. So real quickly here today, I'm going to go through and we're going to go through the mat and how we're going to do these mats. Each of you have been issued a mat, and it is numbered. The yoga mat is numbered here, corresponding to your place that you are on the roll call. So I will be issuing mats out today to each of you, and that's probably going to take about 15 minutes to issue our mats out. And then you'll get into the roll area, so that we will, just like when we start on the 3-point line, when we start our exercises, obviously we cannot put all the mats on the 3-point line. So I've got designated areas already marked off in the gym, so that we will put number 1 is on in a certain area, and it goes on, and you'll be able to set everything up according to the number and where you're at. So when we take our mats, we want to make sure that we are using this school property with respect, and that we are not trying to damage the mat in any way. that we're not trying to toss the mat at each other or throw the mat. We simply will have the mat. The mat will come in a rolled up area like this when we first get it. And when we carry it into class, it'll stay rolled up until we get into the classroom and start our class. And then you simply will get on your number and roll the mat out like that. And you'll be able to, we'll be able to start our different activities. So we will disinfect the mat every time we start, and at the end of class we'll disinfect the mat. And you know the importance of right now, after just going through the COVID-19, that we have to make sure that we disinfect and clean all of our equipment and continue to wash our hands on a daily basis thoroughly with soap and water, because that is what cleans takes the germs away and the viruses and that can be bacteria that can be on certain items. So again, you use sanitary wipes to wipe our mat down completely at the beginning of class. Let it dry. It'll dry real quick, and then at the end of class, we'll also wipe it down. And then as you journal, and we'll get into the journaling next week, but as you journal, then you will be letting the mat dry. And then after you're done journaling, which will take about 5 minutes, we'll go ahead and roll the mat up like this. And you'll affix your number to the mat. It's already on the mat, so we'll know it. Keep your number out so that we can then deposit it back into the storage room, into the slots for your use during the next yoga class. Are there any questions so far? Okay, good. All right, so I'm excited. I think that we have an opportunity here at class to learn about the importance of stretching. And you know what? The great thing about this is we can take this and help our parents or our grandparents or our aunts and uncles as they maybe have more aches and pains and that, and to help them teach different yoga poses and that to maintain a better movement capability and balance as they age. So I think we have covered the main thing. Again, our objectives for today were to understand the protocols while in the classroom and demonstrate the proper usage of the equipment and placement when finished, and demonstrate the proper roll lines in the gym of where your actual mat will be placed when we start. So our performance goals were the students will learn the proper way to obtain the equipment and return the equipment, as well as how to get the respective roll line. And our cognitive goals today we'll learn about the class description of yoga and the proper attire for our class. They will learn about what equipment they were using and how to care for it. They will learn about the grading, daily points, grading scale, and attendance and tardy policy. And students will, by the end of this yoga period, be able to incorporate yoga into your daily life. So the equipment today that we needed was yoga mats and a small pillow that we've used, and we'll go into that for next sequence of class next time. And there is an adaptation, so students will be able to see skills charts that show basic yoga poses that I'll have posted during this yoga segment. I'm going to have those posted on the walls here in the great room so that you'll know our different poses and be able to go and take a look at it as we go through the classes. So at this time, I'm going to have you practice getting your mats out and your pillows out, and then getting on your respective roll line so that we can be prepared next time to be able to come into class with the ability to get right on our area. So again, let's go through that right now, students. Okay, great job in getting that done. I like how you are all very responsible and respectful in getting your mat number as it corresponded to your name, and then going on your roll number. So in closure today, I want to ask for an understanding of the value of increased flexibility when participating in a physical activity, or when you are going to try and incorporate yoga into your life. Would anyone like to, again, remind us what this increased flexibility will help us with? Yes, go ahead, Jeff. Yes, it will help with increased balance and our ability to move and be prepared to get up in the morning a little bit better and be able to stretch and bend and stoop a lot easier. Okay, great job, everyone. So you guys have a great rest of the day as you transition to your next class. And I will see everyone back here next week. And we are going to be going through breathing and showing how we breathe in yoga. And we'll be getting into some yoga positions in order to practice our breathing, because breathing is very, very important in yoga, as it is in other activities that we participate in. But in order to really get the full benefits of yoga, it's important to breathe while you're performing the practice of yoga. So thank you, and we'll see you next week.